Welcome to episode 7 of the 2023 Run for the Million preview show. Today we are going to highlight a past champion of the event, as 2019 co-champion Craig Schmersal is our highlighted rider today. And we're going to be looking at the horse that I think is most likely to be his mount. Earlier this year, it looked like Done It for Whiskey was going to be the horse of his choice, with him showing him and schooling him to get ready at the NRBC. But if tradition holds, the horse he schools in the Open at the Summer Slide in Denver tends to be the horse he ends up showing at the Million. And this year, that was no smoking required. So we're going to jump into the run I think was the best run he ever had, which is his co-championship run from 2019. We'll take a look at why this horse is so strong and why it fits Craig like a glove. And then we'll come back and discuss afterwards. All right, here we are at Las Vegas in 2019. This is Craig Schmersal and No Smoking Required. This is the run that won Craig the Run for the Million. And I want to point out how much this horse reminds me a lot of the two that Sean's going to show. He just attacks the ground with his hind end. And one of the big things for a horse that stops that hard is he doesn't lose any cadence in the front end. It's amazing to see that. Now watch this horse's top line as he turns. He is smooth with no movement other than the lateral move, which is a huge, huge eye appeal and plus thing, and gaining points from an NRHA judge. It's so good to see. And it's one of those things you can consistently say. Same thing right here. Craig lays that rein, and that horse gets off and tries to go as hard as he can. That's exactly what we want to see. And this is everything you've seen right now is the willingness and the effort are the two things that Craig needs to see. This horse is already as consistent as can be, and with that willingness and effort, that just steps him up to that next level, and that's why he tied to win this event in 19. Now, in his circles, he's very typical of one of Craig's. He runs hard and he does everything, but he's always in frame. Top line never moves. He's right there. It's the consistency, and not one single stride is out of place, and not one single stride is out of balance either. And that's a big, big deal when you go talk about a horse that's running that hard and slowing down that hard. The fact that he never misses a step and never misses balance is what sets him apart and why he's among this elite group. And just change the leads as easy as he can, because he's no smoking required and he's that good of a horse. This left set of circles is almost always more of the same. He's always right there. And it's the same kind of thing. This consistency, when I say more of the same, it's that consistency. That is the hallmark of Craig Schmersal's training program. That is his calling card, is how consistent everything is. The same everything is throughout the run. It's a very even style. It's a very appealing style, and it's one of those things you really like to see. We're coming down here, and I want you to look at this, because if you could freeze frame this anywhere in this video, every one of the frames of this stop are probably perfect. And wicked rollback. That thing is so quick laterally. He proved it in his turns already, but it's always nice to see in one that rolls back that well as well. Now this stop, he does the exact same thing, except for one little step. Watch at the end here. He's got one little step, but there's no worry, there's no panic, there's no nothing. And that one little step can be considered him regaining his balance. Totally acceptable. But that's what I mean. Even there's no worry, there's no nothing wrong with it. It's just trust in Craig. It's trust between Craig and the horse. That's a beautiful thing to see. And that last stop is just as big as the first on the other side, and is pretty much why he got there and tied to win it. And that's why Craig was the champion or co-champion that year. And that's a good reason, as good of a reason as any, to pull a horse out from retirement and say, let's take another shot at it. So now you can see why No Smoking Required fits into Craig so well. The horse is so consistent, and it fits into that Iceman-like mystique that Craig has, who is famous for not making mistakes when the pressure's on. With that and that horse's talent, it's a very good combination that always has seemed to work when the chips have been down. 2019 obviously being the biggest example. So the question remains, is this enough horse for Craig to recapture the past glory? He's won it once before. What's to stop him from doing it again? And that's the question we'll have for everybody going forward, is whether or not this one can step up and do it again. So, with that, I will see you all tomorrow. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hopefully you keep enjoying the series. And I'll come back tomorrow.